So the next chapter is chapter 3, Plant Kingdom. Now this chapter, Plant Kingdom, it includes all plants. So first we shall consider here the classification system. So there are various classification systems. So one is the artificial classification. So artificial classification was proposed by Carolus Linnaeus. Now what this system says, so animals are classified or organisms are classified on the basis of external characters. So classification of organisms on the basis of external characters is artificial classification. Then the second system is natural classification. So what this natural classification says, so according to this, animals or organisms are classified on the basis of both external and internal characters. So this system, that is natural classification, it was proposed by two scientists, that is Bentham and Hooker. So Bentham and Hooker proposed natural classification, where organisms are classified on the basis of both internal and external characters. Then the third is phylogenetic classification. So phylogenetic classification is the classification system based on evolutionary relationship between the organisms. Then there is numerical taxonomy. So numerical taxonomy, here the meaning of taxonomy is again classification, right? Taxonomy deals with classification of organisms. So numerical taxonomy, it deals with classification based on the characteristics of organisms. So here characteristics, they are given numbers, right? So numbers and even codes. So characteristics, they are given numbers and codes. This is called numerical taxonomy. Then there is cytotaxonomy. So here cyto, the word cyto comes from cytology. So here cytology means study of cells. So cytotaxonomy means classification based on the cytological information or based on the information of cells, right? So the information of cells, such as the structure of the cells, then the shape of the cells, then the size of the cells, then the chromosome number present in the cells. So all this information, it is called cytological information. So classification based on such information, it is called cytotaxonomy. Then there is chemotaxonomy. Here chemo indicates the chemical constituents or the chemical substances which are present in the cells. So the chemical substances like the carbohydrates, then there are proteins, lipids or fats, right? So all these are the chemical constituents. So classification based on such chemical constituents is called chemotaxonomy. So these are some examples of classification systems. So here you may expect some 1 mark questions. The next we shall consider the algae. So plant kingdom, it is divided into different groups. So all plants that come under this kingdom are divided into certain groups, such as the algae. Then you have bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. So these are the various groups of plants. So algae, bryophytes, even to some extent pteridophytes, they can be considered as the lower plants because they are very simple. Whereas the gymnosperms and angiosperms, they are called higher plants. So why they are called lower? Because they have simple structure. Higher plants, they have complex structure, right? And even they have certain complex tissues like xylem and phloem. So such plants having complex structure, they are called higher plants. So first we shall begin with the first group of plants, which are algae. So algae, they are the lower plants. So since they are plants, they have chlorophyll. Since they have chlorophyll, the mode of nutrition is autotrophic. Means they synthesize their food by photosynthesis. Where do you find these algae? So algae are found in water. Means they are aquatic. So algae are aquatic. They may be found in fresh water. Even they are found in sea water. Or we can say they are marine. So they may be freshwater or marine forms. Algae, they are commonly called seaweeds or even pond scum. Those are the common terms used for algae. Then the plant body of algae. So the plant body of algae, it is very simple, and that simple plant body of algae is called thallus. So THALLUS. So thallus is the simple plant body of algae. Then the cell walls. So algae, the cells of algae, they have cell walls, and these cell walls, they are made up of cellulose. Cellulose is a type of carbohydrate, that is a polysaccharide. Then the reserve food, the stored food materials, right? They are starch. So algae have a reserve food in the form of starch. So again, starch is a type of carbohydrate which is a polysaccharide. Then coming to the reproduction. So reproduction in algae, it is of different types such as vegetative reproduction. Then you have asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So vegetative reproduction in algae, it may be by fragmentation. Fragmentation means a alga may break into pieces. Each piece is called fragment, and each piece or fragment can develop to form a new alga. So this process is called fragmentation, which can be commonly seen in filamentous algae, right? So algae having long filaments, these filaments, they break into small pieces. Each piece develops into a new alga. So this is one simple mode of reproduction which is called vegetative reproduction. Then there is asexual reproduction. This is also simple. So it is by spores. So algae produce spores. They are called zoospores. Now these zoospores, they are just like seeds. They germinate and they produce a new alga. So zoospores develop to form new algae. Then the sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction is by fusion of gametes. Now here what do you mean by gametes? So gametes, these are the cells, also called as sex cells, which are involved in reproduction. So gametes can be classified as male gametes and female gametes. The example of male gamete is sperm and the example of female gamete is ovum. So male and female gamete, they fuse, they unite, they combine, and it is called fertilization. So fertilization is the fusion of male and female gametes. After fertilization, there is formation of zygote. Now this zygote develops and it produces a new alga. Now in sexual reproduction in algae, there are different, we can say, methods. One is the isogamy, then anisogamy and oogamy. So what do you mean by isogamy? So isogamy means the fusion of two morphologically similar gametes. See here, when the two gametes, that is the male and female, when they are exactly same, their structure is same, they appear same, right? So fusion of such similar gametes is called isogamy. Then What do you mean by anisogamy? The fusion of two dissimilar gametes. When the two gametes, that is male gamete and female gamete, when they are structurally or morphologically not same, right? So fusion of such dissimilar male and female gametes is called an isogamy. Then oogamy. So oogamy here, it means the male gamete is small, female gamete is large. Means sperm is small, egg is large. The sperm is motile, that is male gamete is motile, means it can move, whereas the female gamete, that is egg, it is non-motile. Non-motile means it cannot move. So fusion of such gametes, right? The fusion of such gametes, it is called oogamy. So the fusion of small motile male gamete with large non-motile female gamete, it is called oogamy. So these are the various, we can say, methods which are observed in sexual reproduction in algae. So that is about the general characters of algae. So you may expect a 5-mark question, write the general characters of algae. So you have to write all these characters. Or you may expect 1-mark questions. What is isogamy, what is anisogamy, and what is oogamy. The next we shall consider the classification of algae. So algae are divided into 3 groups or 3 classes. So they are chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae and rhodophyceae. So here, the first group of algae, it is chlorophyceae, second group is the phaeophyceae, and third group is rhodophyceae. So you have to practice these terms, right? You write it and practice it many times, because you come across many difficult words or many difficult terms, right, in biology. So you have to practice all the words, right, and be familiar with these words. So chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae and rhodophyceae. These are the 3 groups of algae. So we shall discuss the characteristics of all these groups of algae. So chlorophyceae, these are commonly called green algae. So all green algae, they belong to group chlorophyceae. Similarly, phaeophyceae, this group includes all brown algae, right? So all brown colored algae, they belong to group phaeophyceae. Then the red algae, all red algae, they belong to group rhodophyceae. So these are the common names of algae which belong to these groups. So they are commonly called green algae, brown algae and red algae. Then habitat. What do you mean by habitat? So habitat is the living place, a place where an organism is found. It is called its habitat. Now for example, what is the habitat of fish? See, a fish is found in water. So the habitat of fish is water. So yes, some birds, they live on trees. So the habitat of those birds is trees. Some animals, they live on land. So land is the habitat of those animals. So here habitat. So chlorophyceae, they are mainly found in fresh water, right? So fresh water means the water present in rivers, lakes, ponds. It is called fresh water, right? The water which you drink, it is fresh water. The water which is found in sea and ocean, you don't drink that water, right? Why? Because it is salty. It is having high concentration of salt. Such water, it is called marine, which is found in sea and ocean. The water found in a river, pond or lake, it is called fresh water. So green algae, usually they are found in fresh water, that is in ponds and lakes. Brown and red algae, they are present in seas and oceans. So we can say they are marine. Then the pigment. So here what do you mean by a pigment? So pigment is a coloring substance, right? It is a substance which gives color. It is called pigment. Now for example, in our body there is blood. What is the color of blood? So the color of blood is red. Now why our blood is red? Because it has a pigment, a red colored pigment which is called hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is a red pigment present in RBCs, red blood cells. Plants. Most of the plants, they are green because they have a pigment. So they have which colored pigment? The pigment is green. So green plants have a green colored pigment that is called chlorophyll, right? So here we shall consider different pigments which are found in algae. So the third character is pigment. In green algae, the pigment is chlorophyll. In brown algae, the pigment is fucoxanthin. In red algae, the pigment is phycoerythrin. So this pigment, fucoxanthin, it gives brown color to the algae. Phycoerythrin is a pigment. It is a red pigment that gives red color to the algae. So you call them as red algae. Then the reserve food. So reserve food, that is stored food material, right? So here in our body, what is the reserve food? So in our body, the reserve food or stored food is glycogen. Even we can consider fat, right? So fats and glycogen are our reserve food materials. So in algae, since they are autotrophic, the reserve food is starch. Starch is a carbohydrate which is classified as polysaccharide. Then the cell wall. So cell wall in case of algae, it is composed of cellulose, right? So cellulose is present in the cell wall. Then the examples. So we shall consider the examples of these groups of algae. So chlorophyll. So in case of chlorophyll, the common example is the Spirogyra. So Spirogyra is the example of green algae. Singular alga. One alga, plural algae. So Spirogyra is a green alga. It is filamentous. Body is composed of filaments. Filaments are thread-like structures. They look like threads, or they look like your hair, long thin hair. So such long thin hair-like structures, they are called filaments. One filament, plural filaments. So when algae have a body which is like a filament, we can call them as filamentous algae. So Spirogyra is composed of filaments. So it is a filamentous algae which is green. So you will be observing Spirogyra in the practical during the in the laboratory. Then the example of brown alga is sargassum. So sargassum is a brown alga that is found in seas and oceans. Then the example of red alga, it is Gelidium. So Gelidium is an example of red alga, which is also a marine alga. So that is about the classification of algae. So here you may expect questions. Write the characteristics of chlorophycine. So these characters you have to write. Or write the classification of algae. So you have to write the names of the classes. Examples may be asked. So you have to remember the examples. Right? So only by practicing you can remember such terms. So do a lot of practice and try to remember all these terms. Terms means the words. Then the next we shall consider uses of algae. So algae, some algae like spirulina. So spirulina is one type of alga. This spirulina contains protein, right? Since spirulina contains protein, it can be used as food, right? So spirulina can be used as food because it contains protein. Then Gelidium, another alga. So Gelidium produces jelly, or you can say jelly is obtained from this Gelidium, and that jelly is used in preparing ice creams, right? And even certain types of jellies are prepared from Gelidium. That is another use. Then a type of polysaccharide called agar, I think it's here, so AGAR. So agar is a polysaccharide. Now this agar is used in the labs, in the biotechnology labs, in the microbiology labs for growing microbes. So microbes can be grown, right? Microbes like bacteria, then viruses can be grown in the laboratory by using agar. So that is another use of algae. Then some algae produce hydrochlorides, right? Sorry, not hydrochlorides. They produce hydrocolloids. So hydrocolloids are water holding substances, right? Hydrocolloids are water holding substances. They hold water in them, and they are mainly used for packing plant materials. So plant materials can be packed and they can be exported, right? So packing of plant materials during export is done with the help of hydrocolloids, which are produced or which are obtained from some algae. So brown alga, it produces a hydrocolloid which is algin here. So algin is a hydrocolloid obtained from brown alga. Similarly, another hydrocolloid that is obtained from the red alga, it is carrageen. So carrageen is a hydrocolloid that is obtained from red alga. So these are some of the uses of algae. So I hope you have understood this concept. So we shall continue in the next video. Thank you.